Hey designers, Jessica here, and I'm super excited to introduce you to the new Fresh from the Oven brushes and styles. So I'm going to get right to it and get straight to the point and show you how to load these up and show you how to use them, and that way you'll be creating in no time. So whenever you open up the file, you're going to see some ignore that, you're going to see some brushes, ABR file. To load up, there's colors for the sprinkles, there's a pattern file. The main file is the layer styles, the ASL. So those are the three things you can load. Normally to load them in Photoshop, you can just double click them, but I'm going to show you how to do them manually just in case. So for the layer styles, which is probably the main product, make sure that you see your layer styles window here. If you don't see it, go to window and go to styles, and then you can click on the top right and click load styles and then find them from the desktop or wherever, and that will load them up. The second thing is the brushes. I think there's like 48 layer styles and then there's 55 brushes. So make sure most of the time you can just double click the brushes and it'll load them right up into your Photoshop. But if you want to load them manually, go to your brush panel here. If it's not, if you don't see it, go to Window and go to Brushes. Click up on the top right and then click Import Brushes, and you can import the brushes that way. And then the third thing is the multicolors for the sprinkles. And most of you should be familiar with my Impressionist brushes. And basically, the sprinkles brush, the different sprinkles brush, if you want to put them in multicolors, you can go over here to the pattern stamp tool, select your sprinkles brush, and then select that pattern. And that way, whenever you put sprinkles, it will be multicolors. And if you want to know how to load the patterns, you can go, probably the easiest way is to go to your pattern stamp tool, click up here, and click on the top right, and you can click load patterns. Or you can do it via your preset manager. But it's just one pattern, and it's just for the multicolors for the sprinkles so that you can put rainbow sprinkles, and it's really easy. So that's that. And so that's all the things you have to load. There's a couple other things that come in the folder. There is two different PSD files. The PSD files that come with it is, the first one is shapes, and these are shapes that I created and put into converted them to a smart object, and that way you can drag them, drop them on your design and start decorating them. So it's a really good jump start for your designs. And I've made the outline version and then the filled in version. And then the other PSD is really useful. You open it up and look like this, and this has every single one of the 48 different styles. And this is a really great visual guide to give you an idea of how everything is going to look. And you've got all the different backgrounds here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And for each background, you've got a different raised style. So this is really cool to give it like a raised sort of effect, but not like it's a separate layer. And then I've got one set of the main styles here for the lighter colors of the backgrounds. And then I made a separate set of basically the same thing, but I made them for the darker backgrounds so that the shadow looks more realistic. And when you look through the styles, you'll see them. These are the main styles. And you'll see main light, medium, dark, darkest. But then over here you'll see main light for darker backgrounds. So, and then you have the colored ones here. You've got the white icing and then the colored icing. And the colored icing, you just pick the color before you draw and then add the layer effect. You've got the sprinkles for light and dark backgrounds, and then the accents for colored accents and regular accents. So you've got everything here. And this is really, I think this, if you're not familiar with the styles, I'm super familiar with them because I created them. But this is going to help give you a much better visual guide. And what's cool is you could just click on it and then you could copy that layer style and paste it in on your document or whatever. So it's really helpful. And another reason why this is really helpful is that you can load this. This makes it super easy to load into your Creative Cloud libraries, because otherwise you would have to like drag these one by one, every style, into your libraries. And you might not want to keep these styles in your main styles panel all the time. So I keep things in my libraries all the time as like a separate collection. So basically, if you go to your Creative Cloud library, as long as you have Photoshop CC, click Libraries. If you don't see it, go to Windows Libraries. And if you right click in the top corner, and then you can create a new library from the document, and then click Layer Styles, and then create a new library. And it's going to load these all up into a library, which is great because then you can use it on any of your devices or whatever. And I like to leave them as a list rather than icon, because I think that helps me to see it better, because then you can see the text that goes along with it. And also I like to sort it by the name, so that way everything's together. And let's see, my computer is being a little bit slow here. It's almost time for an upgrade. Let's just wait. There we go. So I've sorted them by name, and I leave them on the list, and that way everything is kind of together. So you have all these styles now in your Creative Cloud library. So that makes it super easy. And so I went through and labeled every single one of these layers so that whenever you load this into your Creative Cloud library, everything is appropriately named exactly as the styles. So that's going to help you do things really fast. And now, just to give you a really quick demo, I'm going to paint this background here black, fill this in, and I just want to show you how easy it is to use these. It's really cool, and I'm going to make sure you're following my YouTube, because I'm going to make a lot more tutorials, but this is just the basics to get you started. So I'm going to go and put this as a background medium style, and then I can click my text, and I could put this as main dark. And so you can just play around and see the different styles. You can see it lighter, darker. You can have it raised, put it as an accent, different kinds of things. And there's just so many possibilities. You can have it in like a frosting style. You can have it in like a colored style, like colored cake or colored gingerbread. What got all this started was gingerbread, but really you can use this for so many different things. So I didn't want to just call it gingerbread, because it's like really just kind of like baked and baking and all that kind of stuff. So it's super cool. So that's just how easy it is you just click on the layer styles, and I'll just leave that there. And then I'm just going to go ahead. What's kind of fun that I like to do is, let me get my cursor here, just one second. There it is. Okay, there we are. And so here we see we've got all the different brushes, and they're cool to use for frosting, but you can use so much more than that. So I'm going to get my icing brush, and I'm going to go ahead and click, since I use the background that is medium, I'm going to hit raised medium before I start drawing. And now you can see when I'm drawing, it gives it this really cool raised effect. So I love to have fun with that. It's super cool. And here I'm going to put I'll put main medium or maybe main dark. And so you can just have fun drawing these different sort of shapes. I love to do things like this. What else do I have here? One of my other favorite little things to do is use the stars, and I will put some accents. Well, Let me undo that. Put a new layer, add accents, and put some little stars here. Super fun, super cute. Let's do like an icing layer. So I will put frosting thin, and I'm going to get one of these nice little interlocking sort of brushes. These are really, really cool for like if you're making, oh, I don't know, anything, but when I first started making some of these were like for like gingerbread house kind of styles. But now I've just made so many different things that I didn't really just want to call it gingerbread. So there's so many different uses. So there's some of the brushes. And what else? I think, oh, the sprinkles is really cool. To do the sprinkles, make sure you're not using the brush. If you want multicolored sprinkles, you go over here to the pattern stamp tool and then click the sprinkles and make sure that you have this pattern loaded that I gave you. I'm going to put a new layer and I'm going to put the sprinkles layer style, and then you'll see here that you'll get all these really cool multicolored sprinkles. So it's super fun. This is just a really fast quick start guide to get you going, but make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube and my Instagram because I'm going to be having a lot of different demos and to show you how to get the most out of your product.